It's the Bliss Brunch Show here on Bliss 104.3. This is Tim, and all this month, it is International Children's Month. So we decided we wanted to highlight some of the organizations in Jordan that are doing fantastic work for not only children, but for entire families, adults as well. And I'd like to welcome Rana AlZoubi to the show. Good morning. How are you?
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for inviting us.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming in. Now, Rana is the National Director of the SOS Children's Villages here in Jordan. A lot of you may know about them, but some of you might not. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit. Now, in June of this year, you, Rana, were elected chair of the General Assembly of SOS Children's Villages International, the first Arab woman in this position. So first of all, congratulations for that.
Thank you very much. It's actually the first woman.
First woman and first Arab woman. It's quite the honor.
Thank you.
And 137 countries, you were telling me off air, you're responsible for?
Yes. Mostly my work for the General Assembly is to ensure, it's a federation, so it's a group of organizations locally owned in different countries.
Right.
And our work at the General Assembly is to ensure the membership rights are upheld, the compliance to the federation's policies and statutes, issues related to our overall work as a federation.
Mm-hmm. Well, to start off, could you tell us what that work involves? Like, let's just start locally. SOS Children's Villages here in Jordan.
Yes, I'll get to that. But I wanted to highlight something very important, is the importance or the link of this international position to our work here in Jordan.
Right.
Because it really shed light on Jordan as a country and our work at SOS in Jordan in relation to all of these 137 countries. So we're really happy that we're highlighted that way. In Jordan, many of us may know us as an association for children, which we started off as that, but our work grew. With our children, our responsibilities and work and interests grew. Mm-hmm. And the way we work and function in Jordan is that we look at the country's needs. Okay. So we are not a charity organization. We are a social development agency. And when we look at, we do like needs assessment, we look at what is needed for the future. What do we need to correct? How do we improve the services for in the social development sector? Then we program or develop programs as such, and we pitch with the donors in order to cover this gap and work with the government on improving the services and closing that gap.
So it's more of a holistic sort of idea, which I see a lot in your website and your publications and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Can you explain, though, maybe on more of a practical level, what would that look like for a family and for kids that are coming in?
So let me start off with the family, because children's are our, how do we say it?
Future.
Future, yes, but it's the sunshine of our work. And a lot of times when I'm overwhelmed and I feel like stressed from work, because it's a tough job.
Oh, I'm sure.
When I go to the villages, and we have 3 locations in Amman, Irbid, and Aqaba, and I see the children running to me, and they call me Khalto, auntie. So they come and they're like, Khalto, Khalto, and they give me hugs.
Yeah.
And they're telling me about their days, and they're showing me their grades and their drawings, and they're happy to see me and, and engage with me. It makes my gives a meaning to my whole work. It just brightens my day. So a typical day, for example, for a child is that we have separate homes. Each home has its own little garden. It's completely designed by the mother, who is actually an SOS employee, but we call her alternate mother. So she's in all. I mean, it's not the biological mother.
Of course.
Of course. It's the person who raises you. So she is in all respect the backbone of our services, these mothers. And also when you see them and you see the relationship between them and the children that they raise, it's really heartwarming. So the child wakes up in their homes. They have their breakfast. The mother takes them to the buses, the school buses to take them to schools. They go to public schools or private schools depending on their choice. They come back. They have their lunches. They do their homework, and then we have some play areas on the premises, or they go to, I don't know, birthday parties if they're invited to, or they have activities. We have a set of employees to assist with the development of this child. So we look at what we call dimensions of care. So we look at the developmental needs for every child, and we look at where this child needs focus. For example, if they need focus in building their self-confidence, then we have, for example, we enlist them in team sports.
Right.
Issues like that. So, and then we have, if there are a need for academic enforcement, then we have tutors who come and give tutoring lessons, or social engagement. Then we have a program called Mentor, where they engage with an adult who is in a field or a sector that is of interest to usually not children but usually young teenagers.
Right.
And we can talk a little bit more about that. So it's really a home just like any other home, where the mother and the relationship with the children fighting.
Yeah, right, sure. Yeah. I'm curious how you talk to the mothers when they first come in, the mothers that work with your organization.
Yeah.
Like, how do you instruct them as far as relating to the children? Do you leave a lot of autonomy to the kids as far as making their choices? Do you have the mothers steer them in certain directions? What's kind of your approach with that?
So, and are we talking about new mothers when they join us? Or?
Yes, yeah, like when they're first joining the program.
So we're very strict about the selection of the mothers. Because
I would assume,
it is a very difficult job. Really, they are with us 24/7. They are in charge of about usually between 6 to 7 children. So it's really tough. So we really focus on improving the working environment for these mothers as much as we can, and giving them assistance as much as we can in all different areas. They do take training.
Right.
Of course, we have the most important is safeguarding, children safeguarding, because they need to understand what is considered child abuse, for example. Sometimes certain cultures may be more lenient in certain raising practices, but we are very, we have standards that they need to uphold. So we teach them what are the alternative raising or
methods,
caregiving methods. In Arabic, it's bada'il al-iqab, so I'm trying to find the English translation.
Okay. Yeah,
but
you speak in Arabic.
So it is how do you steer the child without using in positive methods of enforcement or child rearing. So they do take that. They take also trainings to understand the developmental stages of a child, to understand when a child is below or a bit delayed in his or her developmental stages. Also the stages related to teenagers, for example, because they stay with these mothers until the age of 14. So the first teenage years are very important, and for them to understand where the child is. Of course, there are other, as mothers and as employees of SOS, they take trainings related to the organization. They also take trainings on psychological, psychosocial, how do you call it, information, or so that also they understand, because you're dealing with children of mostly who may have experienced traumatic experiences, because unfortunately close to 70% of the children currently in alternative care are from broken homes.
Right.
So they do have families. So a lot of them need special attention to deal with the trauma that has affected these children. So we focus on trauma-informed care and we have psychologists on the in the 3 premises so that they can also assist professionally.
You cover everything. Yeah.
We hope so. We hope so. It's a tough job, like I said.
I would imagine.
We hope so.
Yeah. We're talking to Rana AlZoubi, who is the National Director of SOS Children's Villages here in Jordan, but also the chair of the General Assembly of SOS Children's Villages International. One thing we didn't mention specifically, too, was how do the kids end up with you in the first place? How do they join you? Because I know you take in both orphans and
yes.
kids that are struggling in broken homes.
So this is a very centralized process. And all the children who are in need of alternative care have to go to the Ministry of Social Development first. Mm-hmm. And depending on I want to say vacancy that we have, then I'll explain why I say that. We apply to the Ministry of Social Development so that we can take the children that fit in our model. So our model of care is we have a house, a mother with up to 7 children that is as close as possible to a biological family. So we look at the different ages, so they're not all the same age. We look at boys versus girls so that the distribution is as close as possible to a natural or biological family. So let's say at the age of 14, they go to youth houses. These youth houses are based in the community, and they are separated, boys alone and girls alone, with a youth leader from the same sex. And then, so that's once a child leaves the house of the mother, then we can accommodate another child in his or her place.
Now, if you could ask one, we could go on and on talking about this all day.
Yes.
If you could ask something of the public, the government, or the private sector as far as supporting your work, because I know it's, you get grant money, but there's also an opportunity to contribute, charity wise.
Yes.
What would you ask of the public to help support SOS Children's Villages?
So 70% of our local income comes from individuals. Mm-hmm. So we really rely on the individuals to believe in our cause and believe and contribute to the improvement of social development sector overall. This is their role. As a community, we all have to stick together to contribute. So they're really, in addition to their contribution from a religious point of view, mm-hmm. because it's important, there's also this contribution as a community. The more we stick together and we improve the sector overall, the better for us all. Because
right.
we end up with young men and women who are capable, who are independent, who are active and contributing and good citizens in Jordan. So this is for the benefit of all. So there is the financial contribution. There is also corporate contributions. Where we rely that we rely on. There's also a contribution with volunteering or even spreading the word about us is benefits our work, because the more people learn about us, the more they're curious, the more they support us and
well, yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like I don't
network.
Yeah, of course. I don't think a lot of people were even aware of the work you do. So many people are, of course, but it's like that's why we wanted to have you on to talk about the work you do.
Thank you so much.
And if people want to find out more information, I know your website is a great resource, or social media. And if they want to reach out, they're interested in maybe a child joining the organization. Can anyone do that? Can anyone contact you? And
absolutely. We have our numbers are on the website. We have Instagram. We have Facebook pages. We, they can contact us directly.
Right.
We have a Click. We have eFawatircom. Also the mobile payment wallets like eWallet, Zain Cash, Orange Money. So there are lots of ways to contribute financially to
mm-hmm.
us.
And just to reach out if they have concern about a child too, I would imagine, right?
So, like I said, it's very centralized. So
yeah.
if a child is, they have concern about the child, they need to report it to the ministry or to the
and then they'll get referred.
family protection department.
Right. Okay.
And then the process is very streamlined that way, and then we intervene after it has been properly reported.
Mm-hmm.
We have a very good project. I don't know if we have time, but
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Just if you can give it to me in a minute or two. Yeah, go for it.
And because we're so proud of it, is our Safe Homes.
Yes.
So Safe Homes is also was born out of the need of the country, because previously, before we launched this model of care, women were, if they were victims of abuse, they would only go to certain establishments where they have their dormitory style. They cannot take their children, especially not the boys above a certain age. When we opened this model in 2021, and we were able to accommodate these women and our children in our villages with their children, and it was actually with the support of the Ministry of Social Development. This is a model that we have piloted, and now it exists in our 3 locations. It was supported by the EU. And now we have also more donors who are interested in supporting this model, and we're also talking about the ministry to institutionalize this model in its forms of care for or support for women who are victims of abuse.
Well, congratulations on that too. That's great. If you want to find out more, just check them out online. SOS Children's Villages, Jordan. We've been talking to Rana AlZoubi, who is the chair of the General Assembly of SOS Children's Villages International, but also the National Director of SOS Children's Villages, Jordan. Thank you so much for being on. I think you're going to have to come back because we got more to talk about.
Thank you so much. I'd love to, and we have lots to say.
Oh, yeah, I know. Find out more about SOS Children's Villages online. It's been very good to have you in. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you very much.
As we're highlighting some great organizations, people doing great work here in Jordan for International Children's Month on Bliss 104.3.